get to the subject of this video in just a moment, but first, I want to thank all you people out there from the bottom of my heart for the support you've given to the DUmmie FUnnies channel. It's absolutely amazing what has happened. And just to give you a quick idea, take a look at this chart showing the daily views on the DUmmie FUnnies channel starting from when we started in the middle of January until now. And you're going to see on the right hand side the huge surge that started towards the end of last week. So take a quick look now. Okay, what happened is when I first started the channel, very typically every day we were getting on the DUmmie FUnnies channel was maybe 100 to 300 views per day. That was pretty typical, and there was a few blips here and there where I got like 600 or 800 views, and a couple times actually went over 1,000 views in a day. But then something, I don't know, last week the gods of YouTube algorithm started working in favor of the channel, and by Friday I noticed something was happening, and then Saturday, that day, we went to over 1,000 views for that day, and then the next day it continued. Normally when it would have a surge, it would come back down again, but Sunday it went up to almost 2,000 views. Monday, over 5,000 views. Tuesday, 7,000 views. And then yesterday, Wednesday, over 10,000 views. A few weeks ago, I told my wife, I says, I'll know that the DUmmie FUnnies are on the road to success if we can get over 10,000 daily views. And that happened yesterday. Now, this is all happening a lot quicker than I thought. Oh, and also, another good thing, the subscriptions have soared too. So, thanks to those kids there at the beginning for telling everybody to subscribe to the DUmmie FUnnies now. Right now, as of just a few minutes ago, I had 334 subscriptions, 1/3 of the way to the magic 1,000 number, so I could start live streaming and not so incidentally, monetization of this channel. And also, halfway at about 160,000 minutes of view time. I'm about 2/3 of the way to reach the 240,000 minutes or 4,000 hours of view time, and that for monetization of this channel. Got to make a couple of shekels here, hopefully. So I want to thank everybody for, I mean, it's just incredible it's like a dream, really. So, okay, so now let's get to the video, the subject of this video, and that's Michael Avenatti slamming Beto O'Rourke as a loser. Now, some of you are going, Michael who? Yeah, I can understand that. He's actually become a big-time nun person. Even though he was on network news constantly last year, especially he was on MSNBC and CNN almost every day, and sometimes more than once a day. I think he actually has a world record on the number of appearances in a one-year time frame by any guest on network TV. But what happened was, towards the end of the year, he had his Me Too experience and some financial shenanigans, and then most recently, his major client, the one from whom we really know him, Stormy Daniels, she dumped him. So anyway, but so much. The thing is, Avenatti actually had a pretty good article on Sunday, on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, in Spectator USA, about why Beto O'Rourke is such a loser. He says he doesn't stand a chance against Donald Trump if he were somehow nominated. And so anyway, we're going to take a look at that, because even though Michael Avenatti is sort of a nutcase, and by the way, in that article, it's almost like, even though he said he's not running for president, it's almost like he's putting himself out there as the SOB that could beat Trump. But let's go ahead and watch the Avenatti slams on Beto, and again, I can't thank you guys enough for watching this channel. It's unbelievable what's going on. So let's go take a look at Avenatti slamming Beto as a loser. This is the article from the March 17th Spectator USA. Michael Avenatti, Why Beto Can't Win. And he says here, the subtitle, to beat Trump, the Democrats need a candidate who is as tough as him. And here we go. Beto O'Rourke is many things, but he is definitely not a fighter, and that's why it would be a huge mistake for the Democrats to nominate him to take on President Trump in 2020 for the White House. Simply put, Beto cannot beat Beto cannot beat Donald Trump. Someone else, maybe, but not Trump. It's not Beto's fault. He's not a fighter. Oh, but here's where we come into the really cutting stuff. After all, he's led a very charmed, privileged life as a white male. He's faced very little adversity. He didn't come from nothing. He didn't have to fight and scrape his way to the top because of his gender or race or economic circumstances. Well, oh, by the way, I just want to get into this. He mentioned here about a privileged life as a white male. No. His privileged life isn't from being a white male so much. That's really, I mean, there's white males in Appalachia. You can't say they're privileged whatsoever. What it is it's not white privilege he's got. He's got wealth privilege. The guy, well, his family wasn't, from his father was the top political guy in the county of whatever El Paso is. He was the judge, which actually is a county officer, and well connected and everything. They had money. I think his mother had her family had a big furniture store there, really big one. But the real big money came from marriage. He married the daughter of the wealthiest guy in El Paso. The guy's worth at least $500 million. His billion with a B. So. No, it's not so much white privilege. It's wealth privilege. That's why you always hear Beto talking about apologizing for his white privilege. That way, he doesn't really want to talk about his wealth privilege. All right, let's get back to Avenatti. He has no experience doing battle in high-stakes business or leading tough negotiations. He hasn't ever fought for working people in contentious situations. Well, hey, Michael Avenatti, thank you for sort of that endorsement of Trump, because if there's anybody that does battle, has experience, tons of it, in doing battle in high stakes business or leading tough negotiations, it's the big bad orange man. Okay. I understand why he wants his campaign to be only positive. He hates confrontation because he has so little experience in it. He doesn't like to get his uniform dirty. No, but as far as he doesn't mind getting his tongue dirty. Yeah, now one thing, just keep in mind this article, as I said, it was written on March 7th. It was published on March 17th. That was before we knew, in general, the general public knew that Beto actually ate this magic New Age dirt for regenerative purposes, to regenerate his soul. So I would love to read what Michael Avenatti would have to say about that. And just before I get off that topic about the dirt, something that really bothers me, like, hey, I don't mind so much. If Beto is an idiot and eats that dirt, that's him taking chances with his own body, sticking parasites and stuff. But he also took that damn dirt back home and had his family eat it, which is really disturbing to think about. Beto, take chances with your own body. Don't feed that damn dirt to your family. Jeez. Okay. Sadly, you can't beat Trump by preaching about puppies and daisies and reciting poetry. How about reciting the Desiderata? Remember that? Being positive and singing Kumbaya doesn't work. You beat Trump only by getting down in the gutter with him, taking an enormous amount of punishment, but giving more than you take. This is where I'm starting to think that Avenatti, even though he said he's not running, it sounds like he really wants to run again, because he's got himself as that candidate in mind. getting down in the gutter. My fear is that by putting Beto up against Trump, the Democrats would be choosing one of the few politicians in America who could elevate Trump, both as a man and as a fighter. That's because for all Beto's good looks, energy, and enthusiasm, he comes across as a cheerleader, and a cheerleader doesn't beat Trump. And it goes on like this. You know what? I'm going to put this is a really good article, actually, even, despite who, if you could put aside who wrote it. I'll put a link below this video to this Spectator article. Let's just see if there's he's got a lot of good stuff here. I don't want to bore everybody by reading everything, but it's pretty good stuff here. Here's his conclusion. When choosing our candidate to run for president, Democrats shouldn't be thinking about who'd make the best president. It's not about who is the smartest candidate or the most experienced. It's not about who looks the best in a suit or a dress. Instead, it must be about one thing and one thing only. Who has the skill set and qualities to actually beat Trump? It's not Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, Beto O'Rourke will get beat by Trump. And in case anybody, I don't know why, the liberals seem to have conveniently forgot, Beto lost to Ted Cruz. So again, he's on record, he's a loser, just like Michael Avenatti says. So as I said, I'm going to have a link to this, and you could read it for yourself. It's actually pretty incisive stuff.